All right. Well, remember those no money down mortgage loans? Well, they are back, kind of like 3% right now, and the government's latest push to get housing moving now. But wait a minute. Isn't that the kind of stuff that stuffed the entire real estate industry in the first place? The housing expert Samantha DeBianchi, who is worried, but not yet panicked. But Samantha, you fear we could be practicing old sins again.
We're traveling back in time. We might as well go back into my time traveling machine and go back to 2008 because we're reliving the past, but we're not learning from the past.
What are we not learning?
We're not learning that, you know, not everyone should be buying a home. Real estate shouldn't be fair. It should only be given to, and people should have mortgages and loans that can actually afford it. So me, for example, you know, getting a loan, it wasn't the easiest process. It was a bit of a pain in the butt. But you know what? It was right for me to get one, and I have one. So now Joe Schmo, who's putting down 3% and might be defaulting because he doesn't have the right standards.
Is that the record on these that put little money down, that they're more inclined to default?
Are they more inclined? You know, we don't know, but when you put less money down...
I just think you're bitter that you had to put so much money down and these people don't.
I did. I had to put down a whole lot.
Did you really? So maybe you're angry. You've got anger issues here. Maybe it's a whole bills thing.
I'm Italian.
So then what happens now? The government, we're told, is taking every precaution not to overdo it and to help first-time buyers who are in a pinch. But you argue that this could get out of control, right?
I think it could. I mean, if we look at the statistics, last year the first-time home buyers were at 38%. This year they're at 30%. So we have seen that decline. And
you can't trickle up if they're not trickling.
Right. But, you know, if you look at just all of the statistics, we've seen so much positive growth in the housing market, and now it's like, let's just throw a wrench into it because everything's so great.
But I thought that growth had slowed, and that's what this is about.
It's slowing,
right,
but it's still positive, you know? So why would we change that?
Well, what are they asking people to put down now? At least 10%? Maybe more?
It all depends. Right. I had to actually put down 35%.
Well, this was on a second home, though.
This was on, well, I already had sold my place.
Okay.
So it's a new home.
You must have awful credit then. Why the heck did you have to put down 35%?
No, I had phenomenal credit. I just own a company.
Why did you put down 35%?
I own a business.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. Well, that makes you suspect in the eye of the lender then, right? You're like Ben Bernanke. You can't get a loan if you prayed for one.
Seriously, it's like a riddle, an unsolvable riddle.
But you and I are talking to and I buy this in probably your grandparents' generation, my parents' generation. That was the rule of thumb. You had to put, you know, in those days, what, 15, 20% down.
Right.
And you know, we had a steady, respectable growth, and homes were something you aspired to. They weren't sort of given to you if you had a pulse, right?
Right. And so, you know, the way that we're doing things now, before this 3%, is the right way. You know, we shouldn't be giving people monopoly money and get out of jail free cards and, you know, all of these things when they're not even...
Do you think we'll have another housing meltdown?
I mean, if we allow certain things like this to happen, I honestly do. And I'm a realtor. I make money out of more people wanting to buy and more people being able to buy. So I should say, oh, great, there's more people in the buying pool. I'll just make my commission and call it a day.
All your clients just left you after this appearance. But nevertheless, Samantha, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
In the meantime,